My father brought back a wounded white goose from the mountains. The goose was as big as a small hill. He chained it in the yard with iron chains and called villagers to come, saying they would butcher it the next day. Everyone was excited, only I felt something was wrong. Since 3 years ago, there had been no animals in the mountains, not even rabbits. How could such a huge goose suddenly appear? The next morning, the yard exploded in chaos. The goose was gone, the chain was still there, the lock intact, but behind the wall, there was a woman. She was unconscious, barefoot, with a wound on her arm, exactly in the same place as the goose's injury. She was unrealistically beautiful, like she stepped out of a painting. The village men saw her, and their eyes immediately changed. Even their voices became strange. The doctor said, "This was the Goose Girl. Whoever obtains her can become rich and even extend their life." Some even wanted to take her immediately. The village chief stopped them, saying she must be treated first, but no one really listened. After the crowd left, my father stayed at the door. His eyes were strange, like he was staring at treasure. I told him to go into the mountain to get herbs for my mother. He kicked me away. He had already grown to hate us. At that moment, the village chief came back. He secretly gave my father money. My father immediately let him into the room. 2 minutes later, the village chief came out, adjusted his clothes and said, "Don't say I was here." The woman was still unconscious, but the wound was gone, as if it never existed. I started to feel afraid. At midnight, my father came again. He also wanted to enter the room. I stopped him, saying touching the Goose Girl would bring punishment. He pushed me away and went in anyway. He did not come out until dawn. The next day, she woke up, looking very healthy, as if nourished by something. She smiled at me. That smile was strange. I brought her food. She only ate vegetables. Then she took out an egg from behind her back, bigger than my head, with a strange fragrance. The moment I touched it, I felt my scalp heat up. She smiled, but her teeth looked like tiny saw blades. I ran out in fear. Soon, the whole village knew she had awakened. The men went crazy. Everyone stared at the egg. Only a lame man said, "The Goose Girl is a disaster, and the egg is a great evil." The villagers told me to take it away quickly. I secretly hid the egg. My father went to see the Goose Girl every day. He became more and more energetic, saying it was a blessing from heaven, and mocking the villagers for being cowardly. During this time, the village chief secretly came several times, each time staying only 2 minutes. A few days later, men in the village started visiting one by one. My father collected money and let them enter the room. Like a secret transaction, the news spread quickly. The lame man warned again, saying the Goose Girl would bring disaster, but no one believed him until something began happening in the village. The first to die was the village chief. He fell to his death in the mountains. His arm seemed to twist suddenly. The wound was in the exact same place as the Goose Girl. Women in the village became afraid, saying she was a disaster. But the men did not believe it, because the chief had never even touched her. Only I knew. The first one who entered the room was the village chief. I realized the wounds were not disappearing. They were being transferred. Everyone who went inside paid a price, and every time the Goose Girl interacted, she laid another egg. My father thought it was dirty and told me to throw it away, but I secretly kept it. Gradually, the baby